For coming out and covering Penn State football. I want to thank the fans. Great crowd, great environment. Want to give Rutgers a bunch of credit. They're an improved football team, and Coach Ash is doing a really good job. Overall, we were able to play a complete football game. Started a little bit slow, but we won the field position battle. We won the turnover battle. We won the explosive play battle. Came up a little bit short. Only had 9 explosive plays, and we usually like to be 12 or above. But overall, very good defensively. I don't think we allowed a first down from early in the second quarter to late in the fourth quarter. So defense, I thought, played really well against a team that had been running the ball on people here lately. But overall, we were able to get a W at home against a conference opponent, and we're excited. Still a lot of different areas that we got to get improved. Obviously, the weird kickoff to start the game, I don't even know if that was necessarily a design deal for them. I think they were going to try to pop it up there, and it got caught in the wind, and we should have fielded it. Obviously not the way you want to start the game. But overall, besides that, I thought some real positives. We still got to be able to run the ball a little bit more consistently and protect a little bit more consistently on offense. I thought we had some big plays out there that we left on the field. Defensively, we still got to be able to get pressure on the quarterback a little bit more consistently. I thought we had some sacks. Quarterback did a good job moving in the pocket. And then on special teams, just some things that we got to get cleaned up. But I think our special teams may be the most consistent thing that we've had this year. So open up the questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Somebody. Anybody? There.
You're in the middle. Nobody knew.
I tried to fake them out.
Yes, sir.
James, you had this week suggested that there was some type of hangover after the Ohio State game, going into the Michigan State game. Do you think there was some hangover today, at least early? There were some mistakes, there were some missed tackles early, some lack of execution. Just, do you think there was some hangover today at all?
Well, I think obviously the opening kick is not how you want to start a game. But after that, I thought we made plays and played pretty good. That team's won 3 out of their last 4 games. Has done some good things, and I think we also know the Rutgers game is always from a regional standpoint. There's a lot of guys that know each other, and that they usually play very hard in that game. So no, I thought besides the opening kick, I thought we played pretty good. There's some things that we got to get cleaned up. I think the odd front gave our guys a little bit of hesitation, and we didn't play as fast and aggressive up front as we need to. But I think we made progress, and we were able to get a fairly convincing win against a program on the rise.
James, the way the schedule went, this did have the potential to be a real valley week emotionally for him. Do you even deal with that possibility, or you just let the process take care of itself and try to do what you always do?
I'm not following what you're saying.
Or do you even tell the players anything about look out, you have to be ready, and address the fact that they might not be up for a game like this?
Who's they?
Your players.
Are you talking about this past game or this upcoming?
This game right now.
No, we didn't. We didn't address it that way. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily following you, but yeah, we just went about our
potential to be a down week emotionally after all these tough games you played. This game did.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just continue to focus on the things that we need to do and get better. And to me, it was the opposite. It was an opportunity to bounce back and come out and play well and play with confidence and have fun playing the game and fly around. And we're back at home, which is always helpful. So I'm sorry, I wasn't following.
I might not have said that.
Trace was efficient today, throwing and running. Can you just discuss how valuable he can be if your running game is not necessarily going well, that he has been a guy that can get the offense going?
Yeah, I think we're always at our best on offense when Trace factors into our running game and keeps people honest and keeps people on their toes. I feel like we're always at our best offensively when he's involved in the running game.
James, how much of a factor do you think back alignment has played into your struggles running the ball, and how much of that was a focus to change things up a little bit today?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that people have a plan for us based on Saquon's alignment, and that's not that's not the exception. I think in a lot of offenses you're looking for tendencies, you're looking for things that you can do to give you the best chance to be successful. People run certain routes out of certain formations and from certain splits, and it's the same way. It's the same way in our running game. So we got a lot of different ways that we can disguise his alignment, and it's going to be important that we continue to do that. Whether it's shifting, whether it's motioning, whether it's trading, whether it's being in empty and motion back, whether it's motioning out into empty, a lot of different ways. Aligning him up on the same side as the run or bringing him across. We have a lot of different ways to do it. We're going to need to continue to do that, because I do think, talking to our defensive coaches and looking at how people scheme against us, there are certain calls that you won't make if they're trading and shifting and disguising the running back's alignment. A lot of people like to blitz to the back or set the 3 technique to the back or whatever it may be within your scheme. And when you're moving the back, it kind of takes all those calls away from you. Now you got to make your bench calls or boundary calls and your field calls or left and right calls. So I think it's important that we continue to do that.
James, right here. You mentioned after the game last week, you guys had to become more physical from your vantage point on the sideline. Did you see more physical play from your guys?
I think a little bit, but I still think that's an area that we can get better in our tackling. Had some missed tackles, had that up front on both sides of the ball. I think obviously when you win the way we just won, I would say that we were the more physical football team. But I still think we got improvement here. We got a lot of room for improvement there.
James, you're usually pretty aggressive before the half with your timeouts. Today you didn't use any. Were you just trying to get in and make the adjustments? What was the thinking there?
Well, it really comes down to a lot of different things. It comes down to field position. It comes down to, on first down, do we get them for a negative yardage play or a short yardage play? Or did they get 4 or 5 yards and now you call a timeout and you give them an opportunity to get a first down? So really, it depends on where the ball is, how much time is left in the game, and then on first down, did we get them off schedule? If so, I'll burn a timeout. Second down, did they get a short gain, then we'll burn another timeout. But if it looks like they're going to get a first down, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to burn timeouts in that situation. If it looks like we got a really good chance of getting off the field with a 3 and out, then I'll burn the timeouts to give our offense the best opportunity. And then also, obviously, depending on where you are on the field, if you're in the middle of the field or if you're backed up or whatever it may be, all those things kind of factor into it.
That Rutgers didn't get a first down until the second string came in. Was there anything said between the first quarter and the second quarter? Was there an adjustment that you made to make that happen?
Well, I think more than anything is I think how the game started, the momentum. They were able to get the ball with great field position off of a fluke kick, and us not doing a great job of reading and fielding the kick. And then they were able to have great field position. It kind of went from there. So I think that was probably the biggest factor in it as anything. And then I thought we had some plays, and we had a play where we had we had Saeed on a post route, and he's behind the guy, and their feet get tangled up and he goes down. There's plays like that we had opportunities for big plays today that just didn't happen. So I thought we were good in terms of being patient on offense, defense, and special teams. Make some subtle adjustments and then just kind of keep pecking away at it.
James, I know you'll see it better on film tomorrow. But
let me say one thing. Sure. I would say this game was probably more similar to how last year's games played out than maybe this year's games. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the final result.
Yeah, you'll see it better tomorrow on film. But how would you assess the play of Brandon Smith and Jason Kmita? It seemed like they were all over the place.
Yeah, Jason's he's just been tremendous. In my opinion, in his entire career here, and this year he's steady Eddie. He's Mr. Consistent. He's always leading us in tackles for loss, and then just does a great job of getting us, lined up. They were doing a bunch of trading and shifting and going to unbalance and all those different types of things, and he was in control of it. And then B. Smith is another veteran player that is very productive, is one of the most well-respected players in our program, both on and off the field. And went out and played at a very, very high level. So, those two guys, we think very highly of.
Dr. Two more.
James, not to beat the opening kickoff to death, but you guys have talked a lot the last couple of weeks about, handling sudden changes better on defense. What is it that you guys have worked on so they handled that sudden change so well and didn't allow the touchdown after Rutgers takes over like the 20?
I think it's a couple things. Us talking about it in practice and in the meeting rooms. And then the other thing we do is before they go on the field, Brett brings the whole defense up and challenges them. Lets them know this is a sudden change situation. This is an area that we need to get better at. So it's not like the calls are different or things like that. It's just a mentality, and there is a emotional effect, from a turnover, and you have an opportunity to swing that back and be a mentally tough team, and get a 3 and out or get a turnover or create a punt or whatever it is. And last week and this week, we've done a really good job in that area.
James, back to the linebackers for a second. You had Koa and Cam Brown both in there. What do you like about what Cam can give you guys? And the second part of that, Manny Bowen, you guys expected all week to be without him, or was that something later in the week that kind of popped up?
Cam's a guy that we want to start using in a lot of different ways. We think he can be the boundary backer as well as the field backer. Koa's playing a lot of reps. Really. He's in a situation where he's really backed up by our star package, not necessarily by a linebacker that we're rotating in right now. So we wanted to be in a situation where Cam could get some work to the field, to make sure that we're getting their production out of that position. And then Manny Bowen did not play for a violation of team rules.
James, you've mentioned Saquon Barkley's body language all year. Has it changed at all in the past couple of weeks? Have you noticed anything different from him?
No, he's been great. He's been great. He's handled all this unbelievable. I just got done meeting with the captains, and he's been great. We, as you guys know, we don't talk about a lot of things, but all these guys at this point of the season got little nagging bumps and bruises and things like that going on, and he's no different than that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.